Alright, so the lesson today is solving absolute value equations. I want to have you to write a few notes. You don't have to copy it word for word, but a few notes here. To solve absolute value equations, you need to do two problems. Write the equation without the absolute value symbol on both problems. Set one equation to the positive number given and set one equation to the negative number given. Alright, so we're going to do this. We're going to write two equations for number one. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. So one is the absolute value of x plus 2 is equal to 3. Okay, what do you know about absolute value? Absolute value is always positive. So this is a possible solution because the 3 is positive. So I'm going to write two equations without the absolute value, setting one positive, the number given, and then the second equation, instead of making that a positive 2, it becomes a negative, or a positive 3, it becomes a negative 3. Then we're just going to go ahead and solve like we normally do. Subtract 2 from both sides, subtract 2 from both sides. X is equal to 1. Subtract 2, subtract 2, it's gone. X is equal to negative 5. Okay, there's my two solutions. Let's prove it. I'm just going to do this. You don't have to do it for every one, but I just want to show you that this solution works. Negative 5 plus 2, take the absolute value of that, it should give you 3. So negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. What's the absolute value of negative 3? Positive 3. It checks out. And then you also can do 1 plus 2, that one we know, is 3. The absolute value of 3 is 3. It checks out. So that's one way you can check it. See if you did it correctly. Okay, the next one. We're going to write two problems. And so we've got 3x is equal to 9. And then the other one we have 3x is equal to negative 9. Just like you solve any equation, you're going to divide both sides by 3 to get it large and in charge 1. So this is 1x. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry. That's 1x. Oh, sorry about that. My computer's going crazy. X is equal to 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X is equal to negative 3. And again, you can plug it in. You can do it in your head. You can do it on paper, but that would be the two correct answers. Okay, number 3 and 4. We're only going to do a few problems on this because it's pretty easy. Okay, two problems, absolute value. So I look at my problem here, and I say, okay, here's my absolute value of 2x minus 3 is equal to negative 1. Wait a minute. Absolute value always has to be positive. So this solution right here, or this equation right here, is not possible. Right here, because you can never have a negative on absolute value. So what do you think this might be? I think you've already guessed it. No solution. Oh, so. Okay, so we're done with that one. Don't have to do any work. We just have to look to make sure that the number that it's equal to is positive, and then you can do the problem. Okay, number 4. We're almost finished. Alright, now I look. Before I can do anything, I have to get absolute value signs by themselves. I'm finding my cursor. Where'd it go? Okay, so how do I get rid of the absolute, or pick the absolute value by itself? I'm going to add, there it is. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Now, on this one, I have absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 6 plus 4 is 10. Now, at this point, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to make two problems, one positive, one negative. So, before you can solve absolute value, you need to get the absolute value all by itself, sign by itself. Alright, I'm having a hard time finding my cursor. Okay, here we go. X plus 3 is equal to 10, and then x plus 3 is equal to negative 10. Like any inequality, let's just go ahead, subtract 3 from both sides. If I can find my cursor, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Subtract 3, subtract 3. So x is equal to 10 minus 3 is 7. Subtract 3, subtract 3. X is equal to 10, negative 10, and a negative 3 is a negative 13. So these are my two solutions. Then I plug them in for x, or I substitute them for x. They will make it true. That's a 7. Okay, so that's our lesson for today. Solving absolute value inequality, or equalities. Tomorrow will be inequalities.